and we're going to roll the dice, and we're going to ask if you come up, I want you to take a line or a phrase from any of the poems this week, not just the one you suggested, and say something about it so that the texture of the New York School gets put into the record of this webcast. Okay? So, Kate, you're going to do a lot of rolling now. Okay? Everybody get ready. We need a line or a phrase from any poem.
8.
8. Max, you're up.
Just one line or one phrase?
One line or one phrase, exactly. Hurry.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah, I'm going to do it from just walking around. The longest way is the most efficient way.
Yeah. What does he mean by that, Max?
Well, I mean, you could write an entire book on what he means by that.
Yeah.
It's a celebration of inefficiency in a kind of counterintuitive way, right? He's talking about the pleasure that you derive from not necessarily trying to aim a certain goal or get to a certain place, but rather in walking around, right? And kind of and getting distracted and going on tangents and letting your mind wander and following a certain dream logic and kind of, following paths that you don't normally follow. And
for John Ashbery, that was the very definition of the role of the poet, and it became an efficiency because he wrote poem after poem after poem by just walking around.
Sure.
Yeah,
totally.
Fantastic. All right, thanks. So let's see who comes up now on the die. Kate?
11.
11. That is Joe. A line or phrase. Hurry.
Mine is also in Just Walking Around. Come see it, come not for me, but it. And the reason that I love this line is because it reminds us of our ModPo class, actually. And a week ago, we were talking about triangulation and how important it is to gather around anything. And that collective and being together is what poetry is about. And this line really reminds me of that.
So that triangulation was the object that is the poem that convenes us. And then there's the reader, and there's this poet, and all kinds of. So that's the triangulation, and it's a pedagogical triangulation. So this poem is, in that sense, what do we call it?
Meta-pedagogical poem.
A meta-pedagogical poem. Okay, roll the die. 20.
14.
14. That is Drew. Pick a poem. Let's get a mic to Drew. Word or phrase from a poem.
To meet as far this morning from the world as agreeing with it.
To meet as far this morning from the world as agreeing with it. Some trees, John Ashbery. You want to say anything about that?
Yeah, no, I like this. I mean, I've been talking about this phrase about
pretty
this
much
poem
nonstop,
but this phrase is just like so romantic to me. It's like, and like to meet by arranging by chance, right? Like, because like you and this other entity or person will walk away the same distance from the world, that same distance of which you disagree with the world, and meet there, and then you can share those thoughts. It's just like, I really like.
So you find agreement and communing out of disagreement.
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you. Another roll. This is good. I like this.
18.
Don't have one.
12.
12. Sanvi had to leave.
Is 14 the highest number?
No, 16.
Oh, 9.
9. Gabby.
It's a day like any other.
February, right?
That's right. February Skylar.
That's for me vying for the greatest poem of the week. What moves you so much about that?
Well, I feel like the New York School in total is doing this weird thing where it seems like they are writing about the ordinary, the everyday, but I think what they're finding is that everydayness is a rather abstract thing. I feel this is really true about Ashbery and Schuyler especially, that actually being ordinary is kind of alien and familiar. And so that end of that line is, the end of that poem being that line is such a strong contrast to the rest of it. but I really like what's happened to the word it in the few lines before it, where, you know, when you say it's a hot day, the it is such a vague signifier, like it, the day, like the time of the day, the space of the day, the climate of the day. It's sort of just this kind of weird thing that we say in Romance languages. But yeah, I just think it's great.
It is a great poem. Okay, let's roll it again.
7.
7, that's Erica. I think, did Erica go? No. Erica.
I would pick O'Hara. The day Lady died, everyone and I stopped breathing, which is just, I feel like, a quintessentially New York school way to end a poem with the gesturing outwards that's incredibly intimate.
Yeah. And it's a sort of old poetic pun on aspiration, inspiration. So the inspiration is the inspiring, the respiring is the breathing out. And there's the breathing of the poetic meter, and then there's the jazz as well that gets, so it's all happening there